Good morning to the XRP holders. Appreciate you guys as always, wherever you are around the world. I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, Crypto ZX, do you ever sleep? And, I actually saw some comments coming in last night, when I made that update. But since then, we're in a bull market. We are going to see a lot of excitement, coming in. And sometimes, you do end up losing some sleep in terms of so much going on. So right now we're going to be covering as to what is happening. This, of course, is, a very, very important update because since last night, a lot has changed, and I wanted to kind of sit together and really kind of go over as to what's happening because this right here is very, very important, and we don't really want to be overlooking this. So if you're looking across the board, double digit gainers across the board right now, whether you're looking at XLM, ADA, XRP, Pepe, H bar, whatever the case may be, you're seeing the broader market seeing double digit gainers. What is this showing us? This is showing us that the market is in full force right now, and what XRP has been able to achieve right now is something insane, and of course worthwhile discussing. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So if you're looking at the price of XRP, it's at a staggering $2.90. $2.90. Where were we last night? This is insane. We're up 18.4% in 24 hours in USD comparative, also up 12.1% in Bitcoin comparative. Now, if you're looking at the market cap, 171.5 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is sitting at a staggering $12.4 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So starting off, I just want to kind of talk about this. Bitcoin was able to flip Amazon in market cap, is now the fifth largest asset in the entire world in terms of market valuation. But we always need to remember where gold is, $22.4 trillion. And sorry, I did not mean 2.36 billion. I meant 2.36 trillion dollars in valuation. And of course, remember BTC is labeled as digital gold, and we could really see the potential that Bitcoin really has as we do go into the future. But anyhow, look at this. Senator Cynthia Lumen says her crypto tax bill would put an end to the unfair tax practices and level the playing field for digital assets. This is huge. This is huge, and since the beginning of Trump taking over, and under the Trump administration, there's been a lot of rumors flying around that we're going to see tax exemption for crypto. Of course, that hasn't really been put in full force. It's not been confirmed, but could Senator Cynthia have something like that planned? If that were to be the case, I strongly, strongly believe that U.S. could really be that crypto global hub. Reason why I say that is because that would be huge in terms of innovation. More and more people would, or developers, companies would want to actually in-house or build here rather than out with another country, because of course the incentives, and that would be huge, and that would, I think, bring in a lot of capital for from big players as well. It's already starting to see, but obviously when it comes to that type of incentive, I think that could be massive for the crypto day-to-day investors. Do let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on that. But look at this, exchanges globally are picking up. XRP is on fire. Just Upbit alone is at about 1.08 billion. Shouldn't really be a surprise if you're looking at the 24-hour trading volume. We're looking at about $12.4 billion in trading volume. And when I pull out the chart for XRP, you guys are going to be shocked, and this is going to shock a lot of people as we do go further into the month of July, because of course no one really expected that this would happen. As a content creator, as I state to you guys before, we do tend to see not much interest coming in when you are in the sideways trajectory. A lot of people are not paying attention. Only the people that truly understand that market requires patience are the ones that are actually accumulating. But now it's going to be all of a sudden everyone thinking that they are the biggest fans of XRP, and that is always what happens when you do tend to see market heating up. But look at this, shout out to Smoke. Ripple's business model relies on the idea of demand for XRP will increase its price. So you guys can see this for yourself. Ripple Labs business model is predicted on belief that demand for XRP will increase, resulting in price appreciation if the Ripple protocol becomes widely adopted. With the ISO standard that's going live, I think that's where things can really pick up in a grand scheme of things, especially if financial institutions start using these different platforms. So in order for there to be a long-term organic demand as opposed to purely speculative demand, XRP must provide some utility to its holders. XRP provides utility by fulfilling two functions: security and bridge currency. And speaking about that, look at what Verson says. Markets are performing well, but regulation is what will reprice the system. Assets that survive will have a fixed supply, real-world function, and integration into institutional frameworks. Owning the right protocols mean owning the infrastructure behind programmable economics. And I could not agree more. We spoke about last night about the 4-year cycle. Some analysts think that even the 4-year cycle is done, but I personally believe the 4-year cycle might be done only for projects that bring utility, that have a use case. But for 99.5% of the other coins in the crypto space, bear market will still impact them, and that's something I think we need to keep in mind. But let's take a look at what's really causing this insane price action. You could see this for yourself. The dominance continues to fall down. Yes, Bitcoin did see a little bit of a minor pullback. You could see this for yourself. BTC hit a new all-time high since we last spoke, but since then we have seen a little bit of a minor pullback. But guess what happened? When the minor pullback happened for Bitcoin, dominance ended up dropping, and that means money isn't actually flowing out of BTC. It's going back into altcoins, because let's face it, Bitcoin has been able to reach like 5 all-time highs already in this cycle. So in terms of people that have been accumulating BTC, maybe they're locking in some profits and going back into altcoins, because in terms of an opportunity standpoint, altcoins were not outpacing Bitcoin, and now you are going to start to see that happening, especially with the way dominance is currently looking. And if it continues to show weakness, this is what you want to see, and this is what your boy CryptoZX has been telling you day in, day out. But look at the price of XRP. We went up to $2.94 and got stopped out. That was the last time we retested that range in March, and the dominance is still much higher than where we were in March. And this explains why I talk to you guys about the dominance every single day. But let's kind of go back. If you had some buy orders placed around the $2.33, a level that I spoke to you guys about so much over the course of the last few weeks, if you had your buy orders placed in and around here, you are up right now about 27% for the third largest asset in the crypto space. And the fact that we're in the 23.6 right now, sitting at $2.76, we did see a little bit of a minor pullback since the beginning of the update, because of course market volatility, do expect that, but we're where we need to be. The fact that we came up to $2.95 is something you don't want to be overlooking. Yes, take a look at Bitcoin right now. Let's give it a refresh live. BTC did see a retracement from 118,800 down to 116,900, which of course has kind of impacted XRP as well. But you want to see these types of moves happening. But in the next, in the next few hours, of course, it's still quite early here on Friday in North America. Depending on where you are around the world, you want to see the price of XRP closing above the $2.90 today. We have a long ways to go, and I still believe we could do that. If it's able to do that, I think we could actually see an all-time high much quicker than a lot of people think. Do let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. This is madness. Subscribe if you have not done already. Every single day we're going to be doing updates for you guys. We'll see you later in CryptoZX, and peace out.